name is Shanna Schmidt, and my son is Caden Schmidt. On August 28th, 2007, Caden was born. When I was about 5 months pregnant, we found out that my son had something called hydrocephalus, which is known as water baby. He had water in his brain.
Go ahead and lie to yourself and pretend that you're a ray of light when you're a broken candle.
When he was 3 days old, we found out that during my contractions, he had 2 strokes. One they think was in utero, and one was right when he was born. His lungs were not developed at the time.
Walls are singing hallelujah, amen. The walls are singing hallelujah, amen.
He was rushed immediately to the NICU and put on steroids and oxygen since he was not able to breathe on his own. That same night, we found out he had something called hydranencephaly, which is the 2 strokes. He disintegrated his brain, causing him only to have his brainstem and his cerebellum. The doctor was pretty harsh on it. He said that there was too much water in his brain, and the chambers of his heart weren't functioning right, so chances are if I continue with the pregnancy that he will be a stillborn, because I was basically the one keeping him alive. They were looking at him and said that basically something happened in the womb, that he was going to be blind, he was going to be deaf, he couldn't regulate his body temperature, and he had 24 hours to live, and not to get attached to him and not to love him because he's going to pass away. You know, something's going to happen sometime. So the more the years go by, the bigger bond you have with this child, knowing that, you know, something will happen. And it's just hard. If people ask me, how can you take care of a child that you know isn't gonna make it, that it's basically like, you know, taking care of the elderly, knowing that something's gonna happen to him, and half the time they forget, and how do you know that he can understand you, and how can you do it? It's a different level, because it's like God sent us these children for reasons. I mean, how can't you take care of a child that needs you the most? Some people just don't understand that when you have someone like Caden, he's so physically dependent. He can't, you know, walk by himself. He can't crawl. He can't sit up. He can't hold his head up. He can't eat by himself. He can't talk. And the hardest days is when he's sick, and you know he's sick, and that's all he does is cry. And you have to figure it out. You can't ask him, you know, what's wrong. You can't kiss it better, and the child, you know, think that that's all it was. And that's the hardest.